Good afternoon. This is Miss M keeping it 100. Now, for those of you who are tired of hearing about the war in our streets, just go to another channel. Just go. Um, there's been a new update since I did part one and part two of this. We were wondering how so much violence in our city is really taking over. People are scared. They are, and a lot of innocent people are in their crossfire, and this is sad. But I wanted to just quote something what a young man had said. He said that there is 13-year-olds, 14 and 15 that are homeless, and they will come to them, and they're 23, 24, and 25, and they'll come to them for advice when they're trying to get out of the streets. They really, trying to get their lives together, that the young men would come to them for advice, unquote. Now, see, that's bad. If you're 13 or 14 or 15-year-old, your parents then put you out, you homeless. Why are you homeless? That's too young to be out in the street. So this is, they're going to do anything they can to survive in these streets. And this is something new. This is actually an update from part one and part two of my video, A War on Our Streets. Here's come to find out that a lot of these teenagers, they don't have a place to go. There was one lady that made a statement. She said that they tell them to get in contact with me because these children, they need help. They need somebody to help. So now it's a little bit clearer, of really what is going on in these streets. So mothers, if you're putting these children out, if this is the only way that you can deal with it, then that's really sad. It's really sad. You can't put your kid out in the street. You cannot do that because then you put everybody in jeopardy because these kids are going to rob, steal, and some are killing. We had killing every day in our city, and it's just not in our cities. I read these stories all the time, and a lot of people they don't read these types of stories. It's depressing. They said, it is. It is. But you need to be aware of what's going on in your city, in your state, in your county, in the world, There's a lot of things that's happening that, you just don't understand. You're wondering why these things are happening, why these children are in the school, why aren't these children in schools? These parents don't want to deal with these kids. They put them out, throw them in the street like they're stray dogs. And this is sad. It's sad. They're still your children, and you got a responsibility to take care of those kids until they get 18. If this is the way you put them out there in the street, and so other people can deal with them, and then you get that call that your child something bad might happen to your child. And then if they're in the street, more likely and most likely it will happen to them. You should never put a child out in the street at 13 and 14 and 15, because you don't want to deal with that. Mothers and fathers, we got to do better. It takes a village to raise these kids. You want strangers to I'll put them out and stuff. And here's this a lady that don't even and willing to help. She said, excuse me, pardon me. She said, tell them to contact me. And this woman don't know these children. She don't know their parents. But she want to help. We all need to try to help. We got to come up with some type of solution to get these kids off the street. When mothers, can't deal with the kids, they give them to the grandparents or the aunt, uncle, or somebody. But they don't throw them out in the street like trash. You can't do that to your children. And so I'm finding out a lot of things, why these kids are on the street and why there's so much violence, in the streets. And it's really sad, It really, really is sad. I walked to our local drugstore, and I had put in the videos how I like to walk, and I feel good when I'm walking. It gives me strength. I can think. That air. I just like to walk. And these three teens were coming up up the street while I was going down. Now they wouldn't bother me, but I was petrified. I was getting closer to them, and they were getting closer to me. And I didn't know what they was going to do, if they was going to say something to me, if they was going to put a gun. I mean, we shouldn't have to be that scared. We shouldn't be scared like that of teenagers. We shouldn't be scared like that. But I was petrified. I said, well, I should have stayed home. Why didn't I drive down here? I was scared. And I admit it. I am afraid. I'm afraid to walk past them. You know, these parents, you got to do better. You can not let your children at 13 is a baby, a 13-year-old in the street. Grandmoms usually pick up the slack. You know what I mean? If my when my grandson, before he got murdered, he would have a falling out with his mother. But where did you think he came? He came here to his grandma because he knew his grandmother wasn't going to throw him out. He knew that the grandma was going to always be there as long as she was alive, and that still holds true to the day. That as long as I have a home, my grandchildren will never be in the street. Never. They will never be in the street. So I'm just saying, we got to get this together. Don't throw your kids out. Get them some help. There's family members that help. There's grandmothers that take your grandchildren. There's a lot of grandmothers I see walking the kids to school. They grandmothers have become the parents because the parents don't want to deal with the children, or either they doing things and things like that. I know there's good parents out here. I see that every day. But I'm just saying that there's mothers, you can't let your children sleep on the street. You can't, that's inhumane. You can't do that. You got to do better. So, listen, guys, I'm not going to stay too long, but, subscribe to my channel, like my video, and if you want to support the channel, it'll be down in the description. And I'll see you the next time I make a video. Be safe and be blessed.